broadcasting from the Unshackled Studios in Melbourne. This is WilmsFront, brought to you by theunshackled.net. Now here's Tim Wilms.
Hello and welcome to this Saturday night special WilmsFront featured interview show on this 12th of February 2022. We are premiering this show on the WilmsFront YouTube and DLive channels, but given the COVID-related satire and mockery that will be showcased, you may now be watching the replay on BitChute or Odyssey. This is because I am very lucky to have as my guest tonight my favorite COVID satirist and stuntman, Dr.Clown from MediaBear. His COVID parody music video, I Wear My Face Mask in My Car, to the tune of Corey Hart's I Wear My Sunglasses at Night, which was published in May 2020, went viral. I'll play his brilliant parody with his permission and then bring in the clown himself.
Your distance.
While they're deceiving me, it cuts my immunity. TV's got control of me. I turn it on, they say.
But this is not over yet.
Don't trust the man with the orange skin, oh no.
It comes from China. There has to be some form of punishment.
Don't mess around with the CDC numbers. I can't believe it. We gotta make him a billionaire, oh yeah.
And then the final solution, which is a year to 2 years off, is the vaccine.
I wear my face mask in my house so I can stop a symptomatic disease spread to myself. And I wear my face mask when I bike so I can placate all the Karens at the park. And now the WHO is deceiving me. Trade freedom for security. TV's got control of me. I turn it on, they say. Don't take it off till the vaccine's here, oh no. Get microchipped and go back to work, oh yeah. Oh no, I can't believe it. He's not just a nerd, he's like a doctor too, oh yeah. The contact tracer's knocking at my door, oh no. I'm just a number.
Dr. Clown, welcome to WilmsFront.
Tim, thank you very much for inviting me to come on and be on your show today. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you're not triggered by my unmasked face, because I know that, well, did you foresee that almost 2 years after your iconic face mask music video, that the face mask pandemic would still be going?
No, definitely, absolutely not. And however, about a year into it was when I started to become terrified that it may never go away. But certainly within the first several months, I was convinced that any day now they were going to change the news cycle into something new and decidedly maybe even more terrifying than the 99.9% survivable disease.
Well, we wonder when the next variant comes. That'll probably then the threat of conflict will probably subside, and then that'll be have to put the masks back on. The Omicron Pfizer booster next jab is supposed to be still coming.
Yeah, well, they've kind of left me out of the loop on the research and development phase ever since things got out of hand there at the lab. But so I'm just along for the ride, just like you, my friend.
It seems to me that the Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, his words basically carry as much gospel weight as Dr. Fauci now. He's almost on the mainstream media as much as Dr. Fauci, and the various journalists say, "Oh, please tell us how many more shots that we need. Tell us we need more shots." He's like, "Yes, possibly."
That's terrifying, man. I genuinely can't believe how quickly kind of Australia has capitulated to the whim of whatever bizarre global cabal is pulling the strings. It's disconcerting. I don't know a lot of the names of the people in play in politics there, but just the overall whatever party of politics is currently in control there seems totally willing to follow so many others down this kind of alleyway of just bleakness that it's depressing.
Well, the way that Australia is governed, it's similar to Canada. There's the Prime Minister, and then there's what they call the states in Australia, the state premiers. Premiers, they're the ones who enforce the public health measures, as they're called now, aka lockdown restrictions, mask mandates, all that stuff. And the Prime Minister is in charge of getting the vaccines and also border control, because our international border was shut for 20 months, where it was illegal for citizens to flee the country. You had to get permission from the government to leave, and if you're an Australian citizen, get or resident permission to come back in, and you had to hotel quarantine for 2 weeks at your own expense.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was a period where I was unable to mail things to Australia through the normal route that I would through the U.S. Postal Service. And all of the stuff that we would send to people that would order our CD or our T-shirts or whatever in Australia, we had to start sending them via UPS, because they were the only game in town for getting mail into Australia. I don't even know if it's still going on now, but startling.
Well, I've ordered things from overseas at various times. They do eventually get here. I don't know what the biosecurity screening process is at our airports, whether they use disinfectant. I know that because we were following for 18 months, the China-inspired COVID zero policy. As soon as there's one case, complete lockdown. China is still pursuing COVID zero there. What is it? Stopping the mail. What is it? They originally killed the hamsters. Now they're killing the cats as well.
Phew. I was aware of the hamsters. The cats, that is a disturbing development, Tim. I'm not... That kind of caught me off guard.
And because there's so many brainwashed sheep, there's probably the worst COVID reporting channel. Oh, you just got a Rona ball.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if there's anything that I can do to stop that. It looks like that's the little effect that gets triggered when someone follows us. Sorry about that.
Luckily, you've got your mask on. And how many jabs has Dr. Clown had?
Well, I'm not allowed to partake in the therapeutic treatments. It's just science. But yeah, I'm glad that you got to see an actual real world application of my facial prosthetic in use. You saw how safe that protected. It protected both of us ultimately.
Yes, because as some companies are making their employees wear masks on Zoom calls, because apparently unmasked faces are now extremely triggering for some people.
Extremely problematic, and I just want to let you know that I've dealt with that problem. That Rona particle will not interrupt us again. So, but yes, indeed, man, I'm aware of that of that reality. Look, we see them driving, swimming, walking by themselves down the street with masks on and stuff like that. There's some of the mask people will slavishly and sheepishly be willing mask people for the next 10 or 15 years. And it's up to you and I to just accept that they are, as this is a theatrical performance for them, they are in fact doing it for our entertainment, and we should just take it as that and feel perfectly satisfied just with laughing at it and moving on with our lives.
The US was, I think, the first country to go mask crazy, even though there was, well, not mandates everywhere, and even though Dr. Fauci told people initially not to wear masks. And so where you are, when did you start to see the masks everywhere, including outside alone, and of course, iconically, in the car alone?
Right. So, I mean, right at the beginning, and I will say this, when Dr. Fauci was on the TV talking about how unimportant it was for people to wear a face diaper when they go to the store and stuff like that, I remember very clearly being one of those people that was, and because I had N95 masks on hand for doing yard work and stuff, and I very clearly remember going out to the grocery store with the intention of being an obnoxious troll, wearing the N95 mask and a bunch of rubber gloves sticking out of my pockets and bleach wipes taped to my shirt and stuff like that. And just thinking this is all going to end any day now, and all these people are just going to be moving on with their life, but this is going to be funny, And I mean, very quickly realizing, oh wait, no, they actually want people and expect you to put a mask on to come into the store now. At this point, that was, I don't know, May, 2 months in, very, very fast.
In our first wave in Australia, which was from March to May, that was when the narrative that it was a surface surface transmission. They weren't telling us to wear masks because they didn't say that it was airborne at that stage. So it was the gloves and wiping down every single surface. When you went to the grocery store, make sure that you sanitize and wipe down all of your items. There was one COVID commentator who said to people to wash your fruit and vegetables with soap before you cooked or consumed them. So it was surface crazy from March to May. But where I am in Melbourne, Victoria, we were the first Australian jurisdiction to have a second wave, which meant second lockdown. That's when the first mask mandate came in, which was both indoors and outdoors, which... because it was new and because it's visual, and apparently if you wear a mask, you're helping save yourself and other lives. It was insane, the enforcement and not just by the police, but the Karen enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, man. That's the worst part. I mean, here where we are, there's really there's no places where you're not going to be able to enter without a mask on, except for the airport is about the only thing that I can think of. Pretty much every store, any gas station or anything like that, it's most generally speaking, people aren't wearing masks. I live in the greater Atlanta area, suburbs. And that being said, you know, it's different, even just one state over from us. In North Carolina, they do require you to wear a mask to come in and have them separate you from your money. It's very bizarre.
We still have now all throughout Australia indoor mask mandates, as well as the plexi glass. So half the time when you're interacting with people in stores through the plexiglass, it's like...
It's miserable, man. I sometimes, and I mean, it could be that I'm just sensitive to this stuff, right? Talk about it a lot, make a lot of observations about mask people. But I'm pretty sure that I've encountered a few who would intentionally mumble at a low, unintelligible volume through their mask, knowing that I would be unable to hear what they're saying and having to ask them to speak up and all this kind of stuff. And because I'm not wearing their ritualistic mask, you know?
I'm not sure if it was Paul Joseph Watson who popularized the masked NPC soy man who and he like did the pardon.
I love Paul. I don't know if he was, was the first to do that or not either, man. But it's such a perfect crystallization of so many individuals that you'll run into anywhere in the world, any day. I would imagine. You can't understand them on a multitude of different levels, and therefore it just becomes absolutely hilarious. You just have to go with it, Tim. I see that you're struggling with this, and you're trying to have it make sense in the framework of the reality that you're. But the thing is that new normal is. It's uncomfortable right now, but it's going to get a lot weirder and more hilarious as it goes on. And as the pendulum kind of starts to slide back, there will be a bunch of us on this side of thinking that will be able to sit there and say, man, I knew that I was on the right side of this thing. So you just got to ride it out, man. It's going to get weird, though, I'm sure.
I do also find the humor in it as well. Like obviously, when I see the people driving with their masks on alone in a car, and just let out a giant laugh. And also, I recite what is John McEnroe's catchphrase: "You cannot be serious." I'm not sure if you're familiar with British commentator Katie Hopkins. She came up with the term "mask perverts" for those who drive around alone in their car wearing masks, because of the extreme pleasure they get by virtue signaling, wearing a mask everywhere, and also by not breathing like normal human beings used to do. Basically, it's a perversion.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I have a lot of them around where I am. You may be aware that a component of our live stream that we do at least once a month is we will accept submissions from people all around the world that will send us pictures of masked people that they've encountered. And I mean, of course, I have a very close affinity for the pictures of masked people in vehicles. Any mode of transport I'm satisfied with. It can be a train or a planes. That doesn't do it. Don't send me a picture of somebody in an airplane with a mask, but boats, jet skis, bicycles, any automobiles. I love all that stuff. Yeah, they are absolutely you just have to accept that they're doing it as a form of theater. They're definitely doing it for their ego. And so you have to feed that for them, and you have to get the entertainment from it, allow it to, uplift you. And yeah.
Thankfully, it was never part of our mask mandates to wear a mask alone in your car. It was briefly during a Brisbane lockdown for 3 days, but that was eventually dropped because of mockery. And you could take your mask off to do rigorous exercise. But I've seen, this is where the US, particularly the blue states, have just gone insane, that they even mandated masks for some recreational sport. I saw weightlifting taking place with masks on.
Yes, well, God, somehow that doesn't surprise me. Weightlifting with the mask on. I mean, yeah.
Wow. And even at the Beijing Olympics, what was it? The most alarmist Twitter celeb epidemiologist Eric Fiegel-Ding praised the Canadian female ice hockey team because they played and won their game with masks on.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're talking to Dr.Clown here. I don't know what my opinion is supposed to be on that, but I absolutely love it. Look, it's photographic evidence. Tim, I'm convinced that over the next year or two, your average mask person normie, they're going to take the face diaper off. They want to take it off already. They're just waiting to be told to remove it. All right. Eventually that will happen. And those people ultimately will be the ones that are going to be telling you, oh, I was never actually really scared of the Rona. I knew that I was just kind of participating in this role-playing exercise to, help people become more tolerable of their, neighbors and to become more global in their thought of protecting mankind. And but I was never really terrified of the Rona. I mean, I paid attention to the numbers, and we all have this evidence to hold them to task.
I don't share your optimism in that regard. I reckon there's going to be many people wearing masks all the time for the rest of their lives, because even though the coronavirus and its various variants will become endemic, the flu obviously will be around for forever, and apparently in Asia, they have a mask wearing culture because of various respiratory viruses. So their fear, both their fear and their virtue signaling, I think, will continue. And in fact, they've upgraded their masks now to no, because apparently the surgical masks don't do anything against Omicron. So they wear the most suffocating N95, KN95, P2 masks now.
Yes. Well, look, those, like any thinking human being that has any even the modicum of interest in science would have, in the very beginning, researched for themselves about, exactly what those surgical masks are, well, not only designed for, but cleared to do in a surgical environment, is to stop the transmission of bacteria. And they're wholly useless against stopping the spread of a submicron viral pathogen. And so you know, here's another thing, Tim. A lot of people, what they don't know about what it is that we're doing over here at MediaBear Entertainment, Dr.Clown Safety Lab, is we're actually recreating. There was a figure back in the a traveling entertainer back during the time of the Spanish flu. His name was Dr.Clown, Medicine Man, and they, he, his wife, and his friend would travel around entertaining people with parodied versions of classic songs and folklore and poetry and stuff like that. And so that's why I know that people will eventually take off the mask, because we've already seen the playbook that the controllers were using, several hundred years ago to try to enslave humanity. And it didn't work that time, and it won't work this time either. I just need you to stay positive, Tim. You have to stay positive.
Although it also astounds me that for this pandemic, we've recycled 100-year-old technology that they believed in all sorts of weird home remedy treatments 100 years ago, and the face diaper was one of them. Yet it's been repackaged now, but I didn't know that there was a Dr. Clown a century ago, which obviously was an inspiration for you.
Oh man, very much so. I don't have anything to go with that right now, because it was just kind of something that popped into my head right away. But I'm going to play that. I'm going to work that timeline out a little bit more. Maybe source some photographs of Dr. Clown Medicine Man back in the 1700s. That'll be actually very entertaining. Very much so.
Though a new pandemic management tool that was around 100 years later, the PCR test, with, as I call it, the deep throat swab and the brain poke swab. And there's people who, politicians apparently had them every day. Have you ever had one of those tests?
No, fortunately, I have not. I've managed to spare my brain from that level of intrusion. They've managed to get other aspects of this scam kind of forced and crammed into my brain, but nothing physically yet has made its way there. I ended up having to change my job and stuff like that in order for that to indeed be the case. But yes, alas, I've never had one of those swabs done yet.
And China at the beginning of 2021, having sold the lockdowns in 2020, tried and get the anal swab as an additional aspect of the, pardon the pun, the PCR test, claiming it would lead to more accurate readings.
Yes,
you're getting your stick there.
Yes, and I mean, being an expert, we need to have these kinds of this kind of technology at our disposal for testing our products before they leave here and stuff like that, because science and all that. But yeah, the butt swabbing test is new. It's decidedly uncomfortable, but it's extremely effective in identifying sheep.
Which was another one of your iconic songs, Stick Me Baby One More Time, to the tune of Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, which we'll play now.
Supposed to know it's freaking crazy. First they just swab your nose. I must confess that I'm symptomless. It's killing me. How don't you know I need to breathe?
Now that was deleted from your YouTube channel, though it's still mirrored on YouTube.
Yep. That's been the case with several of our videos now at this point. mRNA is another one that's like that, where they deleted it from our channel and said, you know, if we put it back up, we would be in very, very naughty trouble. And so therefore we did not do that. But there's people who have mirrored it on YouTube already, and therefore we we can just add their version, their posted video into our playlist, and it's as if nothing ever happened. So
Yeah.
for now,
Well,
at
let's
least.
play that as well, because that's another one of my favorite, mRNA to the tune of YMCA.
Dumb man, diaper face like a clown. I said, hey man, I can still see your frown. I said, dumb man, brand new cure has been found. There's no need to be infected. Dumb man, there's a thing you should know. I said, hey man, the new jab's ready to go. You can take it, and I'm sure you will find technocrats have saved all mankind. They're changing genes with the mRNA. I'm not the same after the mRNA. Cryogenic vaccine for the world to enjoy. A treat for the girls and boys. Can't fly without mRNA. Can't go to work without mRNA. You must keep yourself clean. You must learn how to kneel. Comply with the Green New Deal. Hey man, are you listening to me? I said, dumb man, you are no longer free. I said, hey man, just hold on to your dreams, but you've got to do this one thing. Hey man, throw your mask on the ground. I said, hey man, no one else is around. You can't travel without the mRNA. It's free, we can jab you today. We barely tested the mRNA. It's gonna change your DNA. Compliance test to ignore. Throw your mask on the floor. We're not listening anymore. We may require the mRNA because the Rona is here to stay. We're gonna change your genes. It's a heck of a deal. Ignore any pain you feel. Hey man, if you do not comply, contact tracers. We'll be stopping by. They will take you for a little drive. Put you in a camp to survive. Soldiers, they came up to me and said, hey man, take the vax to be free to control you. We're changing your DNA, then it's back to normal someday. There's nanotech in the mRNA, tiny bots that fight the RNA. It's an evil idea, technocrats have employed, controlling the girls and boys. mRNA, not a vaccine, it's mRNA. You can think for yourself, you can learn how to see. You don't have to be a sheep. mRNA, it's gonna change your DNA. You must keep yourself clean. You must learn how to kneel. Comply with the Green New Deal. mRNA, just get jabbed with the mRNA. Cryogenic vaccine for the world to enjoy. A treat for the girls and boys.
Now, I noticed in there the clip you had the Qantas airplane, which is an Australian airline, and when that was released at the beginning of 2021, like literally there was hardly any air traffic. I mean, you could travel in between states that you could travel from a state that wasn't in lockdown to another state that wasn't in lockdown, but forget about traveling to and from the country.
you were able to still drive at that point, or that was unacceptable also? You could risk going to prison and getting tested?
Well, it depended on, as I said, if you're in lockdown at the time. So I'm in Melbourne, Victoria, where Melbourne is now the most lockdown city in the world. We spent about 256 days in some form of lockdown. We'll stay at home orders. We beat London and Buenos Aires in Argentina. I'm not sure if you've seen much of our premier dictator, Dan Andrews, one of the most unpleasant world leaders in modern history.
I must say that I don't know that I haven't, but I can't say that I have.
I mean, we had his Victoria police officers choke people outside for not wearing masks, shoot rubber bullets at people protesting lockdown, all in the name of health, of course, because forget about funding extra hospital beds. Public health is all about making sure the police have all the weapons at their disposal.
Yes, and as you mentioned these, I mean, I've definitely seen the results of those things. Certainly, with people being brutalized in the streets for not capitulating to science. And it's extraordinarily disturbing. I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody that would go out there and risk being in that type of situation to show that being a free human being means that much to somebody. It means a lot. So to see somebody willing to go out and risk it.
And Dr. Clown has attended many medical freedom rallies and has become a recognizable public figure. A lot of fans have come up to you requesting selfies because, Dr. Clown now does some street stunts as well.
Oh, well, I've met with people at some of the events that we've gone and done and stuff that are familiar with what we do and stuff like that. But it has not happened yet where I've been doing one of my public trolling events or otherwise where I've met someone that is in a random scenario like that. However, my wife has. She's been at the gas station getting gas and had this moment where she knows that her car is turned off and she is not playing the song, and yet she definitely hears our song playing at the gas station, and she's looking around trying to figure out where it's coming from, and obviously ends up randomly meeting somebody that's there playing our stuff, and it was really cool. She calls me on the phone, I've got this guy, it was very, very neat. But the like the stuff, if I go to the grocery store or these recent things that I've done at the airport, nobody says anything to me at all. When
I go for my bushwalk exercises, so you don't have to wear a mask outside anymore, thank God. I occasionally play my MediaBear playlist because most of your songs are on the Apple Music, though I noticed not all of them are. So obviously YouTube has censored a lot of songs that you've uploaded. How has Apple and Spotify been?
So all I know is this: the music gets filtered to all of those different services via a distribution company. And so when we post these songs, it's here's our music, go to as many places as you possibly can with this, you know what I mean? And and it's the same settings for every song. I don't ever actually use Apple Music. I use Spotify to listen to our stuff, and everything that I've ever posted onto Spotify to this day is still there on Spotify. So I would actually be curious to know which ones are not there on iTunes. I would like to look into why that might be. Indeed.
Your most recent ones, Because I Complied, I should say that Because I Complied is to the tune of Because I Got High.
Oh, cool. Another booster. Good. Let me get that one too. And a face diaper. I was gonna think for myself, but then I complied. Why, man? I was in very good health, but then I complied.
I just had another miscarriage.
Now my heart is inflamed, and I know why. I do too. Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
Why is my period all messed up?
I wasn't gonna wear a mask, but then I complied. Put on a mask! Was gonna let my immune system do the task, but then I complied.
You're not doing it for you, you're doing it for me.
Now I wear a face diaper when I go for a drive. Thanks, buddy. Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
Y'all better catch all those monkeys.
I wasn't even feeling bad before I got jabbed.
That third shot really gets you.
Not a single symptom of illness did I have. Never-ending shaking now and some dubious hives. Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
Why is everything closed on Mondays?
I wanted to keep my job, so I complied. I submitted to the mob when I complied. They used every lie in their playbook, and I know why.
Going massless would be a grave mistake.
So I would comply. So I would comply. So I would comply.
She's got the Rona.
I thought the nightmare would stop if I complied.
People near me aren't wearing their masks.
But the curve never seemed to drop, although I complied.
We've added voice amplifications.
Now I'm a bare statistic, and I know why.
I need to see the manager.
Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
You're not wearing it right.
I believed what I saw on the tube, so I complied.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Have a hard time finding my food because I complied.
I don't want to eat bugs.
The numbers now confirm the lie, and I know why.
Anderson Cooper said so.
Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
Old normal is a conspiracy theory.
Now my immune system's gone because I complied.
Its shot is a little less protective against the variant.
Big Pharma info was wrong, so I would comply.
I need to go get tested.
Now my life is a living hell, and I know why.
I trust the science.
Because I complied. Because I complied. Because I complied.
Yeah, so but because I complied, was, I don't know if you, so that's one that was just purely done as a meme, just because I ran into the guy that did the original song at the airport one day. The guy that did that Because I Got High song. And it was a thing where I posted it and people were like, oh, well, you got to do Because I Got Vaccinated or whatever, you know? And it's like, oh, well, let's actually do it, you know? And it, I mean, I didn't, it wasn't supposed to be, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess my point is that one wasn't yet on Spotify because I never added it to Spotify because it's one of them that I did the singing for. And it's just kind of as a lark, you know, it's not one that I had intended to add to that. That being said, when YouTube deleted it, I was like, oh, well, I guess I have to add it to Spotify because there's, you know, there's an actual reason to do so now. So that one too will be up there. But yeah, like our guy that does the singing and the music production for all of our real music, you know, spends a whole ton of time on it, on getting everything meticulously correct and all that kind of stuff. And when I do a song or one of the things that I'm doing on by myself or here with the missus, we go really quickly, we get through it, we get done, just to get the idea out and done and processed and out, So I guess what I'm trying to say is that every one of these ideas doesn't deserve that kind of superior level of production, right? From a musical standpoint and all that kind of stuff. It just needs to be processed and out.
And
Yes.
the one you just premiered is Bye Lie Now, to the tune of N6, Bye Bye Bye.
Hey, hey. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. I'm wearing this tonight. I've probably got it on too tight. I'm gonna stay inside this season. Come on. I stayed home endlessly. Just watch fake news TV. No thought I'd just believe and sit here alone. I know that I ain't free no more. It ain't no lie. I'm a soldier in a viral war. They bye bye bye. Don't wanna use my brain, it's true. I'll see you after booster number 32. And then maybe you can live your life when you buy more lies. Don't really wanna think too much. I just want a mask when I'm out to lunch. The sheep are lazy, so they just come by and they buy more lies. Just stick me with the truth, clown. You can get more than two. Don't even need a reason, baby. Come on. I don't need a new vaccine. And now I have eyes to see that life would be much better when they're gone. I know that there'll be several more. It ain't no lie. I wanna flatten out that curve, but we buy more lies. Don't want another jack from you. Another freaking booster every day or two. Rules for safety, but it's all a lie, baby. Buy the lie. They really wanna make it tough. They just wanna tell you when you've had enough. Ooh, might sound crazy, but if you comply, then you buy the lie. I'm giving up, I know for sure. I don't need to get permission, breathing air no more. Bye bye. I'm choking out, I'm signing off. I don't want another booster, cause I've had enough. I'm not getting jabbed for you for a seasonal flu. Soon they're swabbing your behind. Bye bye bye. Make it tough. Make it tough enough. And it's all a lie, baby. I'm gonna just accept the truth. Just another mutant of the chain of clue. Take us all for fools, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye bye bye. I'm never gonna take this off. Maybe it's high enough, 'cause I've had you may hate me, but I won't comply, baby. Bye bye bye.
Obviously, the music production is one aspect, but then the music videos, which obviously there would have to be a lot of time spent in front of a advanced chroma key. Can you explain the timeline from first, obviously, coming up with a song, a favorite song to satirize? That's probably the easiest part. But then coming up with like lyrics, and then filming, editing a whole music video.
It might be more interesting to just go right to, because I mean the the selection of the songs a lot of times very much just an organic thing that just it's we'll be sitting around talking and it'll pop into our head and we'll bang it out. Here it is. Let's do this. Let's do that. The writing of things, like a lot of times the way that will work is I'll write the lyric, I'll download the original lyrics to one of these things, rewrite them just so that I know the syllabically and the pentameter of the way it's written, right? And try to write something that's a reasonable facsimile of what there was before, right? The thing is that I'm not a singer, therefore sometimes this stuff is like words that don't soup together in the correct way to be a something that can be sung, right? And so we'll kind of sit there and we'll reformulate the lyrics in such a way that it's can be all smooth and perfect and and then so basically what'll happen is my buddy Stax will sit there and slavishly like recreate the song with Pro Tools with MIDI synthesizers and instruments on his computer. He'll go in and sing the lead vocal, the background vocals, the harmonies, the every freaking thing in these songs, and sometimes he'll have me do some little part of harmony so that it's not all the exact same things and stuff. Like on one or two we've done that, but for the most part it's really what's so cool about it is that once we get the idea crystallized, right, then he's there sitting there the whole time working on his sonic aspect of this thing, right, while I've got a rough kind of working version on it that I can sit here and work on the visual side of it. And so we get a lot done that way. We're not sitting there waiting for one of the other to be done doing any particular thing in order to move on to a next step and stuff. So
because when the finished product is published, the lyrics are very hilariously satirical, but also exactly fit the song. Sometimes very similar to the lyrics of the song in terms of the sentence, the pronunciation, which is the ultimate way that the pioneer of music satire, Weird Al Yankovic, was able to gain so much traction. Yeah,
absolutely. Obviously, I grew up in the era of Weird Al. Clearly, he would be an inspiration to all three of us. We loved Weird Al growing up. Who didn't, right? He was awesome. He's a little normie and boring now, but that's kind of another conversation. But yeah, I think that was what he did too. He would look at the actual lyrics and he would say, okay, well, how can I, be transformative with this, and utilize the nostalgia that it has, or the whatever kind of emotive power that the song had that made him choose to do, Amish Paradise or whatever kind of stuff like that. It's some of those things just work, Safety Mask. That's a perfect example of that. That's not one. You talk about the writing process. That's the kind of thing that writes itself. It's just a matter of doing it. That's all.
And the reason why Weird Al was able to pioneer what he did is because you're allowed to use the original tune music if it's for parody or satire.
Yeah, the main barricade in all of these things, when you're using something, it has to be transformative in nature, right? That's the kind of the YouTube DMCA kind of nebulous answer with satire. Where it gets weird is, with the advert, like on this most recent one, just like pretty much every, remix or parody music video that we put up, it's automatically scanned by the YouTube AI, and it says, okay, this is a cover song, right? Therefore, that we're going to put ads on it, and the copyright holder of whatever song it is that you're doing here gets the revenue from it. That seems to be the kind of way that it works there on YouTube.
Now, when you started with I Wear My Face Mask in My Car, which is your music video that's gone the most viral on YouTube, I think 800,000 views. Was it meant to be did it start off as a single project, and then because it was so successful, you were inspired to do more, and that's when Dr.Clown and also Karen, played by your wife, she was also born, Karen, the security guard.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, dude, in the very beginning, when we had the idea to do this, my wife and I, we write it out, and we were going to sing it ourselves here, right? And we're getting my computer ready. Okay, let's do this thing, and get my phone out and, sit there in front of the computer and record this thing. And it was god awful, just really, really, really profoundly bad. And as we were doing this, and I'm getting my computer configured to do this, because I hadn't set my computer up to do any sound recording in a very long time, because I'm just doing the video stuff. Anyway, I'm realizing, you know what? I need to call Stax to do this, because this is his cup of tea. He can take this music, he can ingest it into his computer. He's already all set up to do this. I've already heard other things like this that he's done before in the past, where he would take a Cure song or whatever and just kind of, just as a creative exercise for himself to recreate these things and redo them, that I knew that he could do it with ease. And that first one, man, I mean, it was done in like maybe 2 or 3 days, and then we filmed for about as many days. So the whole process of that one was done in 10 days, and it was very rushed, because I was definitely convinced, and my wife, that this thing is going to be over in no time, and we have to get it out before it is. But I had 45 subscribers on my YouTube. I didn't expect anybody to actually see it. I knew that it was something awesome and special and meaningful, and that anybody that did see it that was of a similar mindset was going to think that it was awesome. But I didn't really expect anybody to truly see it at the end of the day.
Well, as I said to you at the beginning, this is all still going. Dr.Clown services are still needed nearly 2 years later.
Yeah, it's absurd, man. Although there's cracks forming with the mask stuff. I mean, New York State is deciding that they're going to turn off their masking, and I really think that the kind of event horizon for this thing to really go away is the airplanes. When they no longer make you do this to be on an airplane, I think that we can really consider that to be at least the closest facsimile of normal. That maybe it gets more normal than that, but that's the bellwether. I think we can at least get to airplanes, then we can start to at least feel like there's some development happening.
I'll never fly again until they get rid of masks on airplanes. And the airlines, they're still happy to enforce, and even though it causes even more airline passenger fights. I mean, the US was the original, what is it, mask off or Karen offs in the grocery store, and then the airplanes as well.
Oh yeah, I fly a lot. I haven't seen anything yet, but I mean, I've had people I work with that have been like, "Oh, there's somebody just got kicked off of this one," or I'm 2 hours late because they. What was the most recent one I heard? One of the flight attendants didn't want to fly with some particular person on there because they gave him attitude about when he told him to, you know, put his mask over his nose or whatever the situation was. And he wanted him removed from the airplane. And the people around were saying, man, this guy is out of line asking for that and stuff. And basically just the rest of the staff on the airplane said, no, we're not going to do that. So-and-so, right? And so if this is such a big problem, then what we're going to do is we're going to replace you on the flight, right? Like you, flight attendant, have to beat it, and we're going to bring somebody else on. And if they were going to have to do that, it was going to delay the flight and all this stuff. And so then that guy said, oh, well, never mind. I'll just fly with them. Who cares? Whatever. No big deal. Let's just go. And it's just, that's where it is with this stuff. It's none of it makes any sense. And it's all on a whim, and it's silly.
A few of the music videos that you've done are about a couple falling in love over mask mandates. Karen and Sam. I'll just play that song.
Oh, I love it, man. Personal favorite.
Little ditty about Karen and Sam, two normies masking just to protect you, man. Karen's gonna be a security guard. Sam's gonna wear a mask alone in his own car.
What does it mean to love in the middle of a pandemic?
Sucking through a mask and trying to breathe. Sam's keeping 6 feet and waiting for the vaccine. Karen said, hey Sam, let's keep our distance and leave. Let's go eat chili dogs and wear our PPE. I said, oh yeah, the mask goes on long after the threat of Rona is gone. Said, oh yeah, we'll never take it off long after the spread of Rona is gone. They mask on.
If love makes the world go round, a pandemic can bring it to a standstill. Intimacy and social connection in the time of physical distancing.
Sam sits back, adjusts his mask for a moment, pinch the nose guard and does his best to stay clean. Well, you know, Karen, that mask makes you look pretty. Karen said, hey baby, you ain't missing a thing. Sammy said, oh yeah, I'll put the mask back on long after the threat of Rona is gone. Oh yeah, I'll never take it off long after the spread of Rona is gone.
Too much distance at a time of social distancing, or too little space at this time of lockdowns and stay-at-home orders.
Gonna let it rock, let it roll. Let the virtue mask come and save my soul. Hold on to C-19 as long as you can. Second wave coming real soon, make us lock down again. Oh yeah, the mask goes on long after the threat of Rona is gone. Oh yeah, we'll never take it off long after the spread of Rona is gone. Little ditty about Karen and Sam, two American normies dressed like the Taliban.
some positive unintended consequences of the lockdown.
And of course, they met at the grocery store. They fell in love with the top half of each other's face, because there was that study that face masks make people more attractive.
Well, and Tim, I'm really excited because this is the first time that this has happened, but you're conflating two storylines of two different parodies that we've done. So there's Karen and Sam, right? And that's the one where what's really cool about that one is that was how we announced to the world that we were having our third child coming into the world, right? But the one that you're talking about that has the top half of her face is one of my really, I mean, I just absolutely love the way that it turned out musically, visually, and everything. But it's one that we redid the Prince song "Raspberry Beret" was the tune, and ours is called "Surgical Mask on Her Face," and that's the one where they met at the grocery store.
Days are not enough. We need to go 30 days.
I was working full time and my health was fine. And comes a little man, Dr. Fauci. He told me several times he didn't like my kind, 'cause my mask game wasn't in line. First they said it's silly, the mask does almost nothing. Now the rules are different than before. That's when I saw the top half of her face, walking in through the wrong door, wrong door. She wore a surgical mask on her face, walking around at the grocery store. A silly piece of cloth on her face, but if the TV said she wouldn't wear it no more. A surgical mask on her face, I think they fooled. Masked as she was, she had the nerve to ask me why I'm there to do her harm. I put a diaper on my face, we went riding my bike. It sure beats wearing one in the car. I said, now high case numbers never turn me on, but the TV set has her transfixed. She isn't too bright, I could tell when she sneezed that her mask wouldn't catch all the spit. She wore a non-surgical mask on her face, the kind Alyssa Milano and Joe Biden adore. A diaper tied on her face, but we'll be back to normal on November 4th. Any random cloth on her face, I think they lied to her. The mask doesn't stop it, though you want to believe it's the only thing that keeps you alive. TV drowns out what truth and logic sees and makes them feel like wearing one when they drive. Common cold symptoms are no need for alarm. You're freaking out about the flu when it's warm. The virus stayed the same, only the message changed. Now wearing PPE is the norm. She wore a surgical mask on her face, the kind the sign says don't do anything at all. A virtue mask on her face, but if the science ain't there, she shouldn't wear it no more. A silly little mask on her face, I think I love her. A surgical mask on her face, walking around at the grocery store. A silly piece of cloth on her face, but if the TV said she wouldn't wear it no more. A surgical mask on her face, I think they fooled her.
Now, did they use real footage of a grocery store that you actually filmed?
Yeah. Yep. I mean
And
the stuff
obviously,
in the line and in the shelves and the aisles and all that. Yeah, I filmed that at the grocery store.
and obviously that's where a lot of mask off, Karen offs have happened. Has there been many that you've either been in the front line or observed?
Well, I've done a fair amount of filming in the grocery stores over the course of this. I haven't done very much recently because, well, none of the places require you to wear a mask to come inside. Therefore, I feel like if they had a sign on their door that said, and when they had signs on their door that said that it was mandatory to do it, then I would go in like this into the store, right? And I did have a few different instances where the manager would send over the security team and they would tell me that I had to leave and stuff like that until I explained to them that, in fact, I'm wearing a facial prosthetic that covers a horrible deformity. And please leave me alone.
Because it's like the mask is not actually suffocating your breathing. It's the NPC mask that you've got on. It's basically the surgical mask is taped to the NPC mask.
I can breathe pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna, it's not like well, I mean, I can breathe fine. Okay, it's fine. It's the point is that when they're standing right there and they're saying to you, you can't conceal your entire face, and they have a sign on their door that says you need to wear a mask to enter, it's incumbent on someone has to take on such a policy, right? And I understand that there's people who have never come into contact with the facial prosthetic before, but there's a first time for everything.
So was that a custom made mask actually?
Yes.
Because
yes, Dr. Clown's facial prosthetic is a bespoke hand created creation that is custom formulated to protect everybody in the entire world.
Because I was looking, because I want to get a NPC mask or Karen mask for my next Halloween outfit this year. It's not on your online store. Neither is the clown wig. So where is there a way to order these masks?
There is not, and you're not the first person to ask. And I realize that I am probably leaving some amount of currency on the table, as they say, by not doing it. But it's like I said, it's 3D printing and materials and time and it's easier this way for there to be only so many of these in existence. I don't know what else to say. But that being said, I've seen several people who have created their own versions of the Dr. Clown mask all around the world with great success. The wig you can get at Party City, any Party City, they're going to have this wig. It's the adult clown wig. When you're shopping, you need the adult version.
I think the first time I ever saw that type of clown wig was when it was that Simpsons episode where Homer and Bart glue the clown wig to George H.W. Bush's head.
Yep, it's it's kind of become the quintessential clown world icon, right? The clown wig. It kind of sums it all up.
Now, your uncensored archive of music videos, stunts, diaper walks, and live streams there on your Odyssey and BitChute channel, which this may be now exclusively on, but also a way to get around the memory holding of your songs online as well. The old traditional hard copy CD and DVDs, which I don't think they'll ever die, because I think when Netflix removed a whole bunch of shows because there were people wearing blackface, everyone went to the DVDs again.
Yep. Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, the physical media. It made sense to do it. You know, we were kind of surprised when we got to the point of, it's like, well, we actually have a full CD worth of music now. Like we can, I mean, it was pretty surprising, right? And then when we put out that first CD, I mean, it was the first CD that I had made in maybe 15 years or something like that, from when I was in bands and stuff, when I was, you know, just years and years and years ago. And then realizing, oh, well, you know, we need to make a DVD. And that was really, really fun, making the DVD. And it's because it is such a kind of, it's a relic. DVD really is, from a resolution standpoint and quality of the interface and stuff like that, but for purposes of the just the overall nostalgia of it, it made sense to do a DVD, and for all of these weird, you know, parody music videos, it's a time capsule. I think that, look, eventually they are going to turn all of this crap off, and they'll continue to infest us with their insidious controls, because that's what bullies do. There's just only so much that ordinary people can expect to do to win over some of these machinations. But I don't know, man. I just having the I know that I will look back at this time, and I'll take the DVD out and watch it in, you know, 10 years and be like, wow, that just, and I'm convinced that I'm going to be looking around at a world that is an improved place when that happens. So stay positive, everyone.
Yeah, I hope so as well. You mentioned that you're a father of 3 children, and the most disgusting, 4 now, the most disgusting aspect of the mask culture that's developed is basically what I call the sadistic torture of young children by forcing them to wear masks for 6-7 hours while they're at school. And in the blue states, they're not allowed to talk when they take their masks off to eat. And well, that Democrat congresswoman who wants to be your governor, Stacey Abrams, basically the photo that she deleted, in a classroom, she's unmasked, all the poor children forced to have their masks on.
Yeah, she's pretty remarkable. The more I kind of think about it, I think maybe she might have higher aspirations than governor of Georgia. I think she may be in line to just go straight to the Supreme Court. I would think that she would be a very good, safe Biden pick for the Supreme Court. It terrifies me, but I suspect that's more appealing. Being the governor of Georgia,
Well, was it Georgia was the state in the end that delivered the Electoral College to Biden and the Senate majority to Chuck Schumer with the 2 runoffs in January 2020, even though have a Republican governor in Brian Kemp.
Yes, and Chinese observed voting machines and all of the other accoutrements.
Oh, now this is definitely going to be removed from YouTube after you've said that.
Just doing what I can. You can feel free to edit this if you want to make sure that it can go on YouTube. I'm fine with that.
Oh, it's going to be premiered on YouTube. But hey, I've played all of your music. Like it's like a lot of those songs are no longer available on YouTube. So there, I do occasional interviews where I know with this person it's going to eventually get taken down, but I want to chat with them.
Great, man. I love it. It's been a blast. I'm glad that we had a chance to do it.
And me as well, because I like to think I'm like your biggest fan down under. Like I said, I have your playlist when I go for exercise. I've also thought of the idea of having what is a Dr.Clown Media Bear karaoke party.
I like the sound of that. Yeah, this last live event that we went and participated in, this Flattoberfest event, they had a kind of these after party events where they were doing karaoke, and I so wanted to go over and do it. But since it was happening at night after we had already been doing all this stuff all throughout the day, every one of those nights we were all three of us in different stages of being just wiped out and not feeling up to going and doing it. But I got to do it one time. It'd be so much fun.
Well, again, thank you for giving me your time. I'm glad we could, finally tee this up, and I think I'll play the show out with your one of your latest timely songs, about the Canadian truckers, which is that's a movement that's gone viral, including down under here. There's another convoy to our capital, Canberra. Today, one's gone to New Zealand as well.
Love it. Yes, I mean, okay, yeah. Let's listen to it, and then I'll give you something on that one.
Hey, CV19, this here's the rubber glove. You copy me, Pure Blood? Come on. Yeah, 10-4, Pure Blood, for sure. By golly, it's clean clear to Fagtown. Come on. Yeah, that's a big 10-4 there, Pure Blood. Yep, I thought I smelled unicorn. Oh, mercy sakes alive. Looks like we got us a convoy.
Was a dark moon, great reset soon, in the Kenwood, clowns were about. Cab overrun from Diagolon, raging dissident is on. We was heading Cap City on 73, about a mile out of Maskey Town. Said Pure Blood, this here rubber glove, we're gonna shut the mandate down.
We got a massive convoy, rockin' through the night. Yeah, we got a bucket convoy, fighting for your rights. So come join our convoy, fuck out of the way, cause we gotta roll this convoy till the mandates go away. Convoy. Breaker, Pure Blood, this here's the glove. You wanna back off them clowns? 10 Roger, tyranny's getting intense up in here. By the time we got down to Ottawa town, like 85,000 trucks. There's people lined up and down the street because living mandate sucks. Yeah, TV cams and drones above misconstruing us, of course. Said calling all trucks, this here's the glove, making fake TV reports. Cause we got a great big convoy, trucking through the night. Yeah, great big fucking convoy, and we're trucking for your rights. So come on and join our convoy, get the fuck out of the way. We gotta roll this convoy till the mandates go away. You wanna give me a 10-9 on that, Pure Blood? Negatory, rubber glove. You're still too close. Yeah, them clowns is starting to close up my sinuses. Mercy's sake, you better back off another 10. We rolled up Highway 416 trucking food, plywood, and mail. We tore up all our mandate sheets and left them on the scales. By the time we hit Cap City town, them clowns was trying hard. They brought up reinforcements from the Ottawa National Guard. There's armored trucks and tanks and jeeps and rigs of every size. There's overpasses full of fans and flags fill up the sky. We held the line, we went for broke with 1,000 screaming trucks. A big freedom convoy banner, but no vaccine passed for us. Rubber glove to Scam Buster, come over. Yeah, 10-4 Scam Buster.
Listen, you want to put that microbus right behind that masked person? He's holding some face diapers and he needs all the help that he can get. Well, we paid a price to settle the score and prepared to walk the line. I could see the bridge was lined with flags and no one had a mask. At Pure Blood this year's rubber glove, we ain't gonna show no pass. So we blocked the gate, got out and ate, said, Clown World, kiss my ass. Cause we got a great big convoy trucking through the night. Yeah, great big fucking convoy, and we're trucking for your rights. So come on and join our convoy, get the fuck out of the way. We gotta roll this convoy till the mandates go away.
Cool. So yeah, that too was one that I ended up doing the singing for, and was an idea that is another one of those really good examples of something that doesn't need to have this kind of excruciating level of production and detail done to it in order for it to be for it to represent its best, to be its best, right? That one, in my opinion, in its simplicity and its and the speed of its deployment is what made it such an awesome thing. And it would have been probably less interesting had lots of time and all this detail been spent on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love that one, man. I'm glad that you got a chance to play that one, and it's still on YouTube somehow.
And as I mentioned, people can also see the uncensored MediaBear archive on BitChute and Odyssey, which I've included the links into the show notes and the description. You also are on Gab, which you can also provide unfiltered commentary, and where you can buy MediaBear products, including their CDs and DVDs, is MediaBearStore.com.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to MediaBearStore.com. You can also go to DrClown.com. That's DrClown.com.
And we should also say that Dr. Clown is not actually a medical doctor, and Karen is not actually a security guard.
This is very true. Yes, and Stax, he's not a contact tracer. These are all personas that we play on the internet. But we have quite a good time doing it. And, in the beginning, we did these things to demonstrate that we aren't going crazy, right? Like we are all, because Stax was going through this thing where he had friends that didn't want to come around and stuff like that. And we're all freaked out and, this and that. We had the same kind of thing with our friends and our kids' friends, parents, and all this kind of stuff. And everything's changing all around, right? And we're kind of like, okay, well, we're not going to change anything. We're all going to be still hanging out, come over, eat dinner as often as you can, and all this kind of stuff, And seeing the result, seeing the how many people got so much appreciation, enjoyment, and out of that very first one, we were totally galvanized to see it through to the end and have as much fun with this thing as we possibly can. So I thank you for allowing me to come on and spread the message.
And yeah, why not? Let's play out with one more tune, which is "I'm Too Healthy," which is to the tune of "I'm Too Sexy." So yeah. Thank you, Dr. Clown. I look forward to more of your work in the months to come.
Thanks, Tim.
If you are having difficulty, we are here for you. All right. MediaBear, please say, I'm too healthy. This is for my friends over at MediaBear. You know what? I'm called the Healthy American, and I am too healthy.
I'm too healthy for this mask, too healthy for this mask, so healthy, don't ask.
Fashion is still finding its place in the midst of this crisis, and for many, the face mask is not just a way to protect themselves, it's also a way to express themselves.
Now masks are going to be a part of our proclamation and our sense of style.
Vogue declared it the mask to wear.
I'm too healthy for healthy, you're mad.
Too healthy.
And I'm too healthy for the scam. Too healthy for the scam. New York and Wuhan.
Wuhan, China, ground zero.
Health officials in hazmat suits.
Doctors in biohazard suits.
The patient in isolation now being treated by that robot.
And I'm too healthy for your passport. Too healthy for your green pass. No way I'm safety masking.
Robot with a stethoscope.
I'm a human if you know what I mean. And I do not comply with the mask walk.
Masks on?
No mask walk. Or mask talk, yeah. If you wanna be free, take the mask off.
Face masks are now 2020's wardrobe staple, the first must-have accessory recommended by the CDC.
They said we can do this. We have the machines. We have the facilities. We have everything. This one is a neoprene scuba blend.
Too healthy.
I'm unhealthy in a mask. Won't wear it when you ask. Won't you shut your damn trap?
Too healthy.
I'm too healthy for the jab. Too healthy to get stabbed. What you think about that?
No real protection.
You're a moron who refuses to see that I need to breathe air in my lungs, yeah. No mandate. I do not comply. I need some fresh air in my lungs, yeah.
You're good to go.
COVID's happening right now. I'm still going to be fashionable. I'm not going to let it get me down.
Yes, we're covering our face, but it still makes me feel sexy.
I'm too healthy for the. Too healthy for the.
Jabs.
Too healthy for the.
People that follow.
Every death is now from cooties 19. Shark bites and guns, flu and heart attacks. Lots of cases, phony cases, yeah. Cause the PCR test is a crapshoot.
I'm in favor of the mandate. I'm in favor of the mandates.
I'm too healthy for a bat. A virus from a bat. Poor wet market bat. And I'm too healthy for the stab. Too healthy for hazmat. What you think about that?
Subscribe to Media Bear.
And that's the show. I hope you enjoyed this special party mix style episode, a mixture of discussion and music. I'll next be back on Monday evening for Tim's News Explosion, 8:30 p.m. Melbourne time on the WilmsFront channel, going back to the regular time. We'll cover the latest news, such as the New South Wales Super Saturday by-election results, Scott Morrison's appearance on 60 Minutes Sunday evening, and what has occurred at the Canberra Freedom Convoy this past weekend. WilmsFront will be back also to its traditional Thursday night time slot next week, 8:30 p.m. Melbourne time. My guest will be Septimus Kane, who is a Western Australian artist who's been deep diving into Mark McGowan's CCP links, which given the fact that foreign espionage is again in the spotlight, it will be a very timely episode. The WA Omicron curve is taking off, but Mark McGowan is still imprisoning his own citizens for the foreseeable future. And next Friday will be episode 101 of Trad Tasman Talk, 6 p.m. Melbourne time on the Unshackled YouTube channel with Stephen Berry. If you missed the 100th episode spectacular last night, you can see the live replay on the Unshackled YouTube channel, which featured myself, Dewey DeBoer, Stephen Berry, and our voiceover artist, Origin. And Dewey's wife, Amy, also came in to say hello as well. New reports from Tiger Mountain, which Richard Wollstonecroft, now again being published. And also keep checking out the unshackled.net on a regular basis. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to WilmsFront. Visit timwilms.com or Rational Rise TV to view the archive of episodes. And keep visiting theunshackled.net to view all our shows. And to keep up with the latest real news and analysis.